If you've ever thought about doing an Ironman, you've definitely heard these distances: sprint, Olympic, half Ironman / 70.3, and then full Ironman distance. And you think to yourself, which one of these should I actually start with? Now, social media has made you feel that if you're not currently training for a full Ironman distance, you're not taking the sport seriously. But the truth is, picking the wrong first race is the fastest way to an injury, feeling burnt out, or just quitting the sport entirely. So in today's video, I'm going to break down each of those distances, explain which athlete they are meant for, and then finally how to choose the right race for you, especially if you're coming from a bodybuilding background like me. Now, triathlon isn't just one sport. It's made up of three: swimming, biking, and running back to back. Each one of these disciplines stresses your body in a completely different way. And that is the exact reason why triathlons can be so addicting, but also why people underestimate just how demanding it really is. Now, you're not just training fitness, you're training movement, endurance, recovery, fueling, and lastly, mental toughness, all in one. And the distance that you end up choosing determines whether this is a fun challenge or you feel like your entire life has been hijacked by your training. The sprint distance is the shortest triathlon. Sprint distance is composed of a 750-meter swim, 20-kilometer bike, and a 5-kilometer run. This is the best starting point for most people, especially if you're new to endurance sports. If you come from a gym background, this is perfect because the training volume is manageable, you can still lift weights, and you don't need your entire life revolving around your training. Sprint races are intense, but the suffering is short. You can push yourself without being destroyed for the entire day. Now, the Olympic distance is where the triathlon starts to feel a little more real. The Olympic distance is composed of a 1.5 kilometer swim, 40-kilometer bike, and a 10-kilometer run. Now, it's a long enough of a distance where you can't fake your endurance. You really do have to pace properly, and poor fueling can actually catch up to you. Now, this distance is tough because it sits in an uncomfortable middle ground. It's not short enough to just muscle through, yet it's also not long enough to settle into a slow grind. Now, for a lot of people, myself included, the Olympic distance is more difficult than a half Ironman. Now, this is due to the fact that the intensity stays high throughout the entire race. Now, this is a fantastic option if you, say, have already ran in the past once or twice a week, you cycle regularly, you're comfortable with swimming, and you want a serious challenge without a full lifestyle takeover. The half Ironman distance is composed of a 1.9 kilometer swim, 90-kilometer bike, and a 21.1 kilometer run, also known as a half marathon. Now, at this distance is exactly where triathlon stops being a hobby and becomes a commitment. The half Ironman distance isn't just about endurance. It's about fueling properly, managing fatigue, and training consistently for months. I assure you, at this distance, you cannot wing it. If you don't eat enough, pace wrong, or recover properly, the run will hit you like a truck. This distance is perfect if you enjoy endurance training and you're okay sacrificing some of your lifting volume and you are ready to structure your life around your training. Now, the full Ironman distance is a 3.8 kilometer swim, 180 kilometer bike, and a 42.2 kilometer run, aka marathon. The Ironman is a lifestyle choice. Training for an Ironman is no longer working out more, it becomes part of your identity. Your weekend plans change, your sleep matters more than ever, your nutrition changes, and your recovery becomes non-negotiable. This is not something I would recommend jumping into unless you already love endurance training, you've built up gradually, and you're fully okay with prioritizing this over other parts of your life for a while. It's an amazing goal, but to be honest, it's not a starting point. It's a long-term project. So how do you actually choose the right distance for you? Here's what I think. Number one, your background. If you lift but don't run much, start with sprint. If you already run or cycle, Olympic might be a good challenge. Number two, your time availability. If you have 3 to 5 hours a week, a sprint. If you have 6 to 8 hours, Olympic or half Ironman. Number three, your injury history. More distance equals more repetitive stress. Going too big too fast is how people end up hurt. Number 4, your personality. Some people love long, slow endurance. Others hate long sessions and prefer shorter, harder efforts. Now, there is no right answer, but there is a right answer for you at this present moment. Now, one question that gets raised often is, can you go from couch to Ironman? Technically, yes, but realistically, most people shouldn't. Going from couch to Ironman usually means rapid progression in your volume, high injury risk, burnout, and at some point, you're mentally gonna just hate the process. Ironman isn't about being tough for one day. It's about being consistent for months. No one gives you bonus points for skipping steps. The athletes that actually last in the sport are the ones that build gradually. If you're a hybrid athlete who loves lifting but also wants to explore endurance, a triathlon is honestly one of the best challenges you can take on. Just don't let social media pressure you into choosing a distance you're not ready for.
AC/DC. Motorhead. Oh, what do they teach in this place?
Start where you are, build momentum, and let those bigger goals come naturally. If you want more content on balancing lifting, endurance, nutrition, and just training smart, this is exactly what this channel is about. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment on what distance you're thinking of starting with.